Chatty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the POT. Podcast tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash. Straight to the face, I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling's where you need to be. Chatty Bobby, this show improve like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling's where you need to be. Chatty Bobby, this show improve like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. See ya!
Hey, welcome to Wrasslin with them Wrasslin boys. I'm the POT alongside my tag team partner Big E. And we're here to bring you another episode of premium content. What's going on, brother?
What do you say, brother? How you feeling over there against this winter storm 2026?
Lack thereof. Hey man, it's just blessed that it you know, paper and all the stuff that people buy up from this grocery store. Like we're gonna be locked in for 2 weeks. But again, it's just a blessing, really. I know a lot of the people probably wanted to see snow and all that other kind of stuff. We didn't get that, but again, I'm cool with I don't like that stuff. The icy roads and all the other kind of stuff. Which so I
got a lot
what
of
they thought it was gonna do.
It's still wet and it's gonna get down and dirty tomorrow. It's gonna be nasty tomorrow as far as the ice and everything, but we'll be back up in temperature, so we'll see how it rolls. But yeah, no snow, no, if I needed to go somewhere today, I could have made it there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
But yeah, man, episode 58, man. Welcome to Wrasslin. Jack Lambert.
Yeah, Carl Banks, Wilbur Marshall, Chicago Bears, 85 Bears.
Hey, Alabama great, Derek Thomas.
That's a great. He should have been the first one.
Yes, sir.
Along with Lambert, that's a great one.
Big E in 8th grade.
Hey, Big E in 8th grade.
5'8", man. What you know about that?
Jesse Tuggle, the Hammer. Jesse Tuggle. Falcon grade.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, man, let's talk a little football. What little football we have left to talk about before we get into some wrestling, good old wrestling. Monday we had the Natty, Miami and Indiana. Indiana pulled it off. Man, good game, real good game. Got away from it at the end. Your boy back through the interception. It was a wrap. I know all them Georgia fans were ecstatic when he threw that pick. And just giving him the business. Something about him, man, not shaking nobody's hand and running off the field. I get it sometimes, but at the end of the day, you don't shake hands during the game, you shake them afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And stick around for a minute, give everybody take your ass whooping like a man, like we all have to. That's you lose points that way. People don't think that stuff matters, but it matters. It definitely matters. And when them GMs look at it and stuff like that, they look at stuff like that.
Right.
It was the 2 games that they lost, it was some finger pointing from him with the wide receivers and stuff of that nature. So I don't know. He got him to the Natty though. You know what I mean? So no matter what kind of quarterback you are, it's 2 people to get blamed for wins and losses, and that's the coaches and the quarterbacks. So but damn good game. Indiana got their first national title. So I guess they think they're no longer a basketball school.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, the truth be told, they ain't been a basketball school in years. They ain't been relevant since Bobby
right,
Knight.
right.
Really?
That's a long time ago. You know,
Yeah.
Bobby Knight he couldn't even get a job in this era with all these sisters.
No.
There ain't no way in the world. Ain't no
No.
you know, so but yeah, they haven't been relevant in a long time, either or. So we'll see what happens next year. Pendoza's little brother's already entered the portal. I know they got a quarterback coming in. So we'll see how they land on their feet and what happens. What you think about the game, bro?
I was just glad it was a competitive game because, of course, I picked Indiana to win, but I know a lot of people were thinking that they was going to go in and put the belt to ass
Yeah,
because that's what they've been doing in the playoffs. You know, they but really in the playoffs, what they were doing was phenomenal.
mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of people were like, "Oh, they're going to kill Miami," you know, which I never thought that. You never know how these games going to go. Momentum can shift, and you know, a pick six or kickoff return, anything can happen. I was
Yeah,
glad it was a very competitive game. But you know, and Beck didn't play bad. You know,
mm,
just like you said. And I'm a Georgia fan, but I'm not one of them kind of Georgia.
thank God.
Ain't terrible or anything, you know. But you know, and you got to think that last drive, a lot of pressure. They had a chance because they would have scored a touchdown. They would have won the game.
Right,
And you know, he was out there being aggressive. You know, time was running out. He's being aggressive, and it beat him in the ass. And
right,
the guy who picked the ball, who got the interception, is from Miami.
right.
Just like Mendoza from Miami. So that was huge for that kid to make that play at that time. You know, now as far as him run off the field, I agree with you on that. That's a bad look. Yeah, I
Mm,
know he's all sensitive, and he probably felt like he lost the game. So I think that was more of he being a sore loser, but I think that was more reflecting on himself. Like he felt like he let the team down,
yeah,
and he couldn't really handle that. So he just ran off the field and sore loser. I mean that's but at the
but it's not,
same time,
that's all about being a pro and a professional. You
yeah.
know,
But he'll learn from that. You know, I'm sure
right,
there's many people that not just us talking about on the podcast. There's many people on other podcasts and you know other platforms that I'm sure addressed that and probably talked about it. And I'm sure he may have heard from who knows his
mm,
loved ones, teammates, or
mentor, or
whatever.
whatever. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So you know, I mean, he had to live with that, but he'll get over it and he'll be all right. You know.
yeah, yeah. They tore Cam Newton to shreds for doing that. That wouldn't talk to the media after the Super Bowl loss. You know, was
Exactly.
media bound all year long. You know, they had an amazing year that year. And it's like as soon as you lose, now you don't want to, and he took a lot of heat for that. Took a lot of heat for that. But
Yeah. And I think and you remember Cam had that play too where he could have got the ball. You know, he ain't want to be down to get it. You know, so and he
yes,
talked about that now on his platform. He live and learn. You know, he's a grown ass man now. You know, so
yeah,
they talk about living and learning and like. But to your point though, you're right. Cam took a lot of heat for that, and Beck is not the first player, won't be the last that take heat from
right,
stuff like that, pouting and that entitlement. I guess is like a sense of entitlement
right.
or being a sore loser. But he'll live and learn from that. He'll be all right.
Hey man, I'm gonna do this once and one time only, man. Shout out to the 4th and 1 podcast with Cam Newton. Um, find myself kind of peeking in there a little bit more. Um, definitely is a great interviewer, but him and the one dude that's kind of like with him that sits down while Cam said, I don't know, man. Cam is very, I dig it a little bit. Not a Cam Newton fan. Ruined my only Iron Bowl experience. Roll Tide, but I don't know, man. Podcast ain't for everybody, and it's a billion out there, and you count us, we're 1,000,000,001, but that's his lane, dog. That's really his lane. He does not hold back. He speaks the truth, whether it makes him look good or bad. He talks about any situation that he gets brought up about him or anything else, and you got to admire that. You got to admire that. You got to admire that you can talk about that stuff now. And of course, that's all about maturing and growing up. Just imagine all the shit he been through in college and the pros and making all that money. And you're going to make some mistakes, dog. You're going to make some mistakes, but it's all about how you bounce back from them, how you learn from them. So, yeah, man, shout out Cam Newton. Shout out Cam Newton one time on here. Probably the last, but yeah, shout out to the 4th and 1 podcast. But shout out to Miami and Indiana for both making it to the Natty, having great seasons and really putting up a fight and having a good game. And everybody that could, whether you had a dog in the fight or whether you just wanted to see a good game, you got it. You know what I mean? So, man, shout out to both of those teams. College football is officially over, and go ahead, bro.
Well, again, you shouted out both teams. Kudos to both of those teams, but I also want to shout out both of the coaches. First, Mario Cristobal, who is the alumni of Miami, and I'm sure it's a different kind of thing when a player, just like Kirby with Georgia, when a player goes back to the school that they had blood, sweat, and tears playing, put them colors on, playing for that school, and being able to come back as a coach and lead the team to the national championship game. Of course, they didn't win the title, but just being a coach and bringing the U back, that kudos to Coach Mario Cristobal and Kurt Signetti. Again, I told you he's my guy last year when I saw him pack McAfee. I just love the way he carried himself. And Indiana wasn't thought of. Matter of fact, they was like the most losing program in Division I football at the time, And of course, you got the transfer portal,
probably still
all this, right? But they got all this, the transfer. We see now that things can turn around real quick. But this dude was at James Madison, which he was winning there, but it wasn't like he was coaching at an SEC school or Penn State or Oregon or something and got the Indiana job. They took a chance on this dude. And he came in press conference. He said, "We're going to win here." And everybody like, "Oh, yeah, whatever." They all say that. But he really did. And it wasn't like, even with the portal, he brought in players, but it wasn't like he brought in
the best available.
He could. James Madison. Then he brought in a few guys here and there, and it was like, boom. He had no 5 stars on his team at all. Which is a rating system, whatever. But think about that though. So, you said though, it's gonna be curious to see what happens next year. But again, like you said, both teams. Congrats to both teams. Give them both a hand. Only one team can win. And I was happy Indiana got their first national championship. And I was happy for Coach Dignity.
Yeah. Well, like we said, and speaking of going back home and going back to coach where you played at and graduated from, man, shout out to Adam Ross for going back to Jacksonville State, coaching the O-line and already out there recruiting. And man, shout out to Adam. I'm sure that feels good for him. And if you don't know, a lot of you probably watching do know Adam Ross. If you don't, played high school football with us, middle school football, and has been coaching college ever since he pretty much left college. I know he had one stint of high school, but it's been college ever since. So, man, shout out to him especially for the longevity in the college game and not going back to high school and And you got to be doing something right, because it ain't a year go by, you don't have a job. You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
and those of you who don't know Adam Ross, go check out our archives in the Marietta Football Legends, because he has a great episode, Adam Ross episode, which was a great interview.
Absolutely.
Very humble guy, great guy. Man, he been my boy since the Pee Wee Herman bike back in first grade.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Adam, man. Congratulations. We're proud of you as always. Hey, man, so we're officially done with college football. We'll be covered. You know, the portal's going to be crazy in the spring. You're going to have another signing day coming up, late signees, early admins that not early admins, but early admissions, guys going to school early, already graduating. So yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting. Roll Tide. Alabama gonna win national championship next year. So we said it here, February the 25th. I mean January 25th.
Yeah,
But
so you even got the date wrong. Yeah, that's how I know that's gonna go off the rails.
Hey,
whatever.
I'll say it in February and March too. But Roll Tide. But hey man, let's get into little NFL. We definitely know what the Super Bowl is gonna be. And they had one crazy game and one crazy competitive game.
Yeah.
It was cold as hell in Denver. And I mean, when that snow came, it came, dog. You know, so go ahead.
It was crazy, man, because the whole first half, of course, it was already cold, but the whole first half, it wasn't, it was clear as far as, it wasn't raining or anything. And man, when that second half hit, that third quarter, when it started snowing, it came down, and it came down in a hurry. Like the field went from green to white.
Right.
Like in a hurry.
Yeah.
Kickers missing field goals. Both teams missed field goals and everything. It was New England won that game because they already had a 10-7 lead.
Right.
It was like neither team could really do anything on offense once that snow hit, man. It was crazy, man.
And no Bo Nix. You gotta, I mean, we're not saying it's an excuse, but that's part of the game. Injury is part of the game. But it's hard to go all year and then get into the playoffs and make it that far, and then you don't have your starting quarterback.
Absolutely.
And NFL to a certain extent, it's like next man up, but it's never nothing like it is in college. You can have two superstars in college. It's a hard time having two superstar quarterbacks on the same team. One
quarterback.
Right, especially you got one that's waiting and that you can win with already, and then you have one in their prime that you're winning with already. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't a Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers every year play at different places. You know what I'm saying? And you got a guy you can win with and just waiting for the other guy to get out the way. So it don't really work like that. So, but I mean, he played for those conditions. I mean, the man gave it a hell of a go. So, shout out to them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, he didn't play bad the first half. I mean, it was 7-7, but just like he threw a nice pass early in the game, he got their first touchdown, got them down the field. Play with confidence, man. Both teams had magnificent defenses as well.
Yeah.
But it just, I mean, even the weather is part of the game. It's a part of the game. But man, that's like. When that snow started, it could have been. I don't care who the quarterback was. I'm sure that would have been difficult, So, but again, both teams had to play in it.
When Alabama games and stuff like that in the rain, I get nervous because anything can happen in the rain. But snow and snowing like that, bro, anything can happen. Anything. So yeah, man. I was talking to the boys about the game, and they were talking about how you could see their breath and this and this. I was like, yeah, it's cold out there, dog. And they were like, well, why they don't have shirts on and stuff? I said it was about second quarter. I said they about numb by now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I said, but when you first get out there, them first couple of warm-up hits and stuff, boy, you think it hurt? It's 10 times worse in the cold until you
yeah,
numb.
buddy.
You know what I'm saying? Especially
Yeah.
if you got a long offensive drive and you out there and sitting on defense and you sitting on the bench for so long,
Whew.
then you get out there, them first couple of cracks, boy, gonna hurt.
Yeah, buddy. That's real.
But yeah, man. So yeah, New England Patriots back in the Super Bowl. No Brady, no Belichick. So that's gonna be, a new era for the Patriots. And yeah, man, we'll see what happens with that. Seattle and mine went blank.
Rams.
Yeah,
Los
Seattle.
Angeles Rams.
Yeah. Great game all the way down to the end. Great game. They just came LA just, kept coming back, they were back and forth, but they just
Yeah.
couldn't get over that hump. They couldn't get a stop.
Well, that muff punt, their special teams,
Yeah.
which they had special teams issues all season, sort of like the Falcons. I mean, 'cause you remember the Rams was the team that fired their special teams coach.
Yeah, before the season. Yeah.
After losing to the Seahawks when they played the second time regular season. That's when he got fired.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how a muff punt, when they recovered the ball like inside the 10 and they scored a touchdown off that, they go up 2 possessions. Of course, the Rams kept fighting back, but like you said, they needed one more stop, which they did. And you remember they had a chance to score. And they went for it on 4th down instead of kicking, which I understand. They were down 4, so they going, and they ended up not scoring there. And it was just they couldn't, they couldn't recover from that.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to make. Everybody's going to yell, "You should have took the points," but at that point, it's time to figure out, how much time's left when you get the ball back.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes you just got to take those chances. And that's why they're the coaches and we're not. And that's why that's what people kill me. And but what a great game. 2 competitive games, no blowouts. Everything has been the majority. You take the Alabama game out, the majority of the college games were competitive. We the only one really got blasted.
Well, Oregon got blasted too. Yeah, Indiana had 2 of them games.
Yeah, India. Yeah, man. They ran through everybody. Indiana deserved that. But pretty much everything has been competitive, man. It's good football to watch. In a way what a way to end out the year. So we got the Super Bowl. We got the Pats and the Seahawks. Who you got, bro?
I don't know. I got to think about it. But right now on the podcast, since the smoke clears, not since we know we're going to Super Bowl, we're going to talk about for 2 weeks.
Hey, let me say this real quick. On Welcome to Wrasslin, the smoke never clears. But go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, and shout out to Sam Darnold. I'm gonna have to give him a shout out because the narrative on him is he can't win the big game. They've been killing him about, he had a good season with Minnesota last year, but he had some bad moments at the end, last game regular season. I think was it the Lions that they played, and he laid the egg, and then he laid the egg in their playoff game. Of course, Minnesota didn't bring him back. Seattle signed him, had bad game. He threw 6 interceptions in 2 games versus the Rams, who's like the big bad wolf, who, even though they split in the regular season, but that's who he had to play, get a Super Bowl. And man played a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
300 plus yards pass. I know the exact stats, but he played a great game, and he deserved that. I'm happy for him. I mean, I picked the Rams to win. I wanted to see Stafford get another one. Be completely honest, my Super Bowl pick when the playoffs started was the Bills and the Rams. Got neither of them right. But I shout out to Sam Darnold, man. He played good football. And so I'm pulling for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Patriots. I think there's something to be said about having some kind of chip on your shoulder as far as probably being tired of hearing about all the Belichick and Brady years and wanting to prove that, you know, they can do it without them. And it's their team now type of thing. You know, it's their era now and they can do the same thing. And plus also add on to the legacy of the New England Patriots and want to be that team to add the next one. So I think that that might have a little something to do with it, maybe. But yeah, man, I'm just hoping for a good game, man. But as right now, I'm gonna give them the edge, and we'll probably talk about it again right before it happens, and then we'll have we do some thoughts and stuff like that.
Well, I will say this: as far as the Patriots, I love Mike Vrabel. That's who I wanted for the Falcons to be their coach when we hired Raheem. I wanted Vrabel, and he didn't coach that year. He ended up being a consultant for the Cleveland Browns. And I don't know why we did. I don't know if we didn't interview him or if he didn't want to interview. I don't know. Who knows? But I was very upset that it didn't sound like he was a candidate. And I felt like he got a bad deal in Tennessee. However, sometimes a change of scenery is good.
Yeah.
I'm a big Mike Vrabel fan. So again, I had no dog in the fight as far as them two teams. So again, I want to see a great game. So you know, but again, I had to shout out to Mike Vrabel because I like his demeanor. I like that guy. It just and you see how quick he turned him around. Now, again, they got chip on the shoulder for another reason too. Not just that they had the old legacy. They saying that they had the easiest schedule in the NFL this season, which you can only play who you're scheduled to play.
Right.
Right. So they were 14-3 in the regular season. They were like, well, they had the easiest schedule. Well, yeah, but they were 14-3. But now it's like easy schedule or not, they made it to the Super Bowl. And yeah, okay, Bo Nix, they didn't play against Bo Nix, and you know, and Houston offense played terrible. And the game before that, I forgot who they beat. Before that, was it? I forgot who they beat in the first round. But it was just they always try to minimize their wins.
Right.
You know, and but hey man, you can't argue with going to Super Bowl regardless of how you get there. You know, you can only, you know, I mean you win.
Yep,
you're going to play the games. Yeah, you're going to play the games who, you know, what they supposed to say? Oh, Bo Nix hurt. Well, how about we bring the Bills with Josh Allen, even though they lost the game? They can't do that.
Right.
You know, so you know, shout out to both teams, though, the Patriots and Seahawks, for earning their position to play in Super Bowl 60.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this before we get into what we really here for, and that's a little bit of wrestling. You got two quarterbacks that could call it quits before the season starts. You got Aaron Rodgers and you got Matthew Stafford. You see them two returning. You see one returning, both retiring. What you think?
I think that's a great question. I think Stafford's going to come back because they got so close.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to walk away from Puka Nacua. And look like Adams can play a few more years. Now, we both know that just because they made it this far, it's not easy to make it to that point. But Stafford definitely has a lot in the tank and could potentially win his first MVP. I think he's going to come back. Now, A-Rod, I don't know. You never know with him. He might not say nothing until August. Knowing him, he's A-Rod. He likes the spotlight. You know, even though he try to play like he don't want to be bothered. He would probably like to be a Steeler again.
Mhm.
But we don't know who's their coach going to be. I know Mike McCarthy could potentially be their coach or whatever. So that would be interesting. If they were to hire McCarthy, like get the band back together one more year.
Yeah.
But if I had to bet on it, I'm gonna say Rodgers gonna retire and Stafford be back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounds about right.
What are your thoughts?
About the same. About the same. I think. I don't think it's an easy. Yeah, I'm gonna come back for Stafford. I think he's gonna have to do a lot of thinking, a lot of meditating, and whatever he does. But he don't look like. Of course, we don't know. We don't know how his body feels. And you don't even know if he's tired of the game. You know what I mean? And that's not a bad spot to go out of. You know what I'm saying? What a career he's had. You know what I mean? And you finally, get the playoffs. You did your thing to a certain degree in Detroit. Then came to LA. So we'll see. But that sounds about right, man. It sounds about maybe Stafford returns and Rodgers calls it quits. And it opens up a spot for somebody else. So anytime you lose a big quarterback, shakeups happen and you get to see new faces and stuff like that, because then you've got that quarterback's money available that just left. You know what I'm saying? So you can move things around, go get one or two players. So, it's always exciting to see that aspect of the game as well. So hey, man, go ahead.
Ryan Clark said something on First Take last to the Steelers, which, of course, Ryan Clark played with the Steelers. And, it's the shake up. No Mike Tomlin. They trying to hire a new coach. But he made a very valid point. He said they was to hire McCarthy and bring Aaron Rodgers back. Then he said they don't understand the concept of rebuilding. He said basically they just slapping a Band-Aid on it, basically going out there with the same team that's not good enough to get over the hump.
Yeah.
So like they're running in place. He's
right.
Like, they're not going to win the Super Bowl, bringing A-Rod back and bringing in Mike McCarthy. To his point, he was like, they need to rebuild. And that means they need a bad season. Not saying they want a bad season, but he was like, they need a bad season or they can get a good draft pick and draft them a quarterback. And of course, this year they saying it's not a great quarterback draft, but they're saying the following season should be a better quarterback draft. So they're saying that Ryan Clark, like Steelers, can go ahead, take their aches and pains this season.
Yeah.
And get a better draft pick and draft them a quarterback, which I understand what he's saying, but it's kind of hard to tell the team. It's not like they're going out there going to lose on purpose, right? Obviously, but it's like, I get what he's saying, though. It's like they have to, because they've been like this for years, ever since I say Big Ben last two seasons, he was kind of trash. And I love Big Ben. I'm not saying he's trash, but he had some rough years in the last two seasons.
Right.
And they ain't figured the quarterback position out the whole time since then, because.
Yeah. It probably should have left 1 or 2 years a little bit earlier, because he put on a little bit of weight, stuff like that. And you got to know when it's over, but they're competitive and you just don't never want to stop. So. And it is what it is. Hey, man, let's talk a little bit of wrestling, man. That's what we really here for, man. It's welcome to wrestling. Hey, before we start talking about Saturday night's main event and review it, and we're going to talk a little bit of the Rumble, I wanted to ask you, did you peep out any of the Unreal on Netflix, the WWE Unreal?
Absolutely. I watched, 3 episodes? Yeah, I didn't watch the... I got all the way to the last episode I watched. They covered Evolution and Naomi's cash in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, have you read any reviews about it or read any of these things on these different?
I haven't read any reviews, but I saw our truth on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne and Envy, a clip of that, and Charlemagne was like, I'm a wrestling fan, and he's like, I don't really want the curtain to be peeled back for me. He was like, he wants to. He felt like it was too revealing.
Yeah,
Um, I don't look at it that way. I mean, I know me and you are a little different than the average wrestling fan, but I love it because, yeah, it's revealing, but I love seeing the behind the scenes. I love seeing them as regular people talk. I like to see them nervous. Becky Lynch was nervous
yeah,
about coming out at Becky Lynch, the man. She was nervous about coming out of WrestleMania. Like, are they going to boo me? Like, are they going to remember me? Like, you're Becky Lynch,
right.
But these are human beings, though, and I like seeing them in Gorilla showing about to go out, and Triple H had to give him a pep talk, and or even Michael Hayes and Joseph Park, and they putting the matches together, and the Money in the Bank, and I love every second of it, man. I love it. I love it.
I think it's absolutely fascinating, to say the least. I love that show. I love, like you say, I love seeing the behind the scenes. I love when they're in the writers' meetings. I love when they
Right.
say. I love when I get to hear something like, "Well, why would we do that? Because this, and this," and just the creative part that we've always been so interested in, and you finally get, and you've heard stories, and you've seen small clips of maybe a few things like that, but never nothing like this. And one thing that's always kept me involved in wrestling is that part of it. Is that part of the storylines that when they broke down the thing with, oh, you ain't even seen that part yet. But I saw a lot of negative stuff about Triple H, Michael Hayes, and Road Dogg. First of all these wrestling sites are ridiculous now. You can't. There's no more dirt sheets really, unless you can't trust nothing but like Observer News now, because everything else is so off the wall. There was a Royal Rumble list leaked earlier. It had who did it have? It had Roman Reigns winning. But it just didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So, but it does make sense now, and this is what and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I love it. I love that show. I love the part about Paul Heyman that said he's not a fan because he's old school. He's like, I'm not a fan of this show. Like everybody else. He's so honest and such a genius and whatever. But just hearing, just seeing how Paul Heyman will talk to anybody back there. John Cena trying to calm down Valkyrie from being upset, telling she did great, and them taking the time out to, that you seeing the guys getting ready. They're focused on one person, and you might see AJ Styles over here stretching before the match, just to get to see the regular stuff that they do before they walk through that curtain. It's just
Chelsea Green. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah, man. It was amazing, man. I've watched every one of them, man, already. Just bro, it's so good, so good. I love
Penta.
it.
I love Penta. We got more of Penta, and they showing their wrestling school, and
you see them kids, bro, the little kids.
Yeah,
putting it in, showing his stuff with his daughter, man, and that's not going to do nothing but get them over even more.
right.
They're going to see them as actual real people, and then they still turn into those superstars that you and superheroes that you get to watch. And I love how they were talking about Penta during the writing and stuff. You know what I mean? And I think the show is just absolutely fascinating. And it is so clear, that Seth Rollins does not like CM Punk at all.
Right.
And when you get caught up, we'll talk about that. So, but let's talk about Saturday night's main event, dog. And let me real quick. The stuff about Triple H that I read, about him kind of giving LA Knight the business. They called it berating and this, and this. And I think that's about as easy as a boss can get onto somebody when that happened. And I do think that people forget that these wrestlers, like, this is their job. They have bosses. They have people to answer to. Like that. Did you see the Money in the Bank one yet?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
When they missed the spot.
Yeah. Because Joseph Park was, I'm sorry,
right.
and all that.
Yeah. And then that Triple H was like, dude, it's not your fault. He said, you can't do the spot for him. He's like, you look terrible in their trunks.
And again, I know we just see a small portion.
Right.
Could have been said. Yeah. But what we saw, like you said, it wasn't like it wasn't like, Sig Nitty cussing out a left tackle because he missed a block.
Or Saban getting in a coach's ass or getting in somebody's ass at practice or in the game.
That
AJ McCarron out in the fourth quarter when they're up by 40. You know what I'm saying?
I don't, but what was he supposed to do? Like,
right. You just say, don't worry about it. No, man, you got to do what you're told. You got to do. That spot was for you. That was to build him up and get the crowd under you. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I dig that show so much. I understand kayfabe's been dead. You know what I mean? So, but let's talk about Saturday night's main event and get into it. And then we'll talk about the Rumble for a sec. God dang, boy, the Rumble's in a week, dog. WrestleMania season is here in 1 week. Anyway, Cody and Jacob Fatu match never even started. Match never even started. They beat up all the security guards. They went to the concession stand. They went to the stands. They went to the ring. They went back out the ring. They went in the ring. And, of course, they go back. And Drew McIntyre finally shows up, blows everything up. And it was basically just, a fight for 20 minutes because the match never even got started. So It was a new contest, which is genius because neither one of them lose. And then when we talk about the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna tell you what I think about how all this stuff ties in together. And you talking about fantasy booking like a motherfucker, but anyway, but I thought it was genius. I mean, they beat the crap out of everybody, beat other people up, beat each other up. Got stuff in. Everybody looked strong. And nobody had to lose. And you still, and at the end of the day, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be, something where something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. And I'm telling you. So what'd you think about it?
Well, did you see the promo on SmackDown?
Amazing. You talk about
that man said he went from EBT to WWE.
And if y'all don't know what the EBT card is, it's food stamps.
I mean, Cody brought up his criminal record, and the man was like, he owned up to it. I mean, they talk about peeling the curtain back.
Right.
That was like a shoot.
Right. Ripping that.
So love the promo, and like you said, I love the fight. Like you said, nobody looked weak because there was no official match, and I also love the fact how Drew McIntyre did get involved, and he did something to both of them. So it was like I don't give a damn about neither one of y'all. You know what I mean? Yeah, I still don't like you, Jacob, and screw you, Cody. You know, I'm the champ. So I just thought it was a brilliant segment.
Yeah, absolutely. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Liv and Roxana Perez. I don't know about you, but when I hear all four of those, even Perez, I know they're gonna deliver. The Riptide and then the Moonsault, like back to back, the way they do it so fast. I just love them together. I think, it lets other people go in the world title picture for right now, because you keep the two main ones that are probably the best as a tag team building this tag division, and which is really hot anyway. I think Liv, man, she's already great. She's already good, but she just gets better and better. And she's so entertaining. Roxanne Perez just keeps getting better.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
do. Yeah.
And and Io Sky and Ripley, man, they're two of the best on the roster right now.
Yeah, Io, that's my girl too.
Yeah. And what a humble young lady she is. Like,
Man.
the real thing on the real show, just thank you, thank you, thank you. After that match, she just jumped on Triple H and was hugging him. Thank you. You know what I mean? And just, like, she's just a cool girl, just living out her dream, dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome to see. I think it's so smart for them to keep them together right now. They're over like crazy.
Right.
And nobody looks bad losing to them because they're two of the best.
Right.
So they're gonna build that division up and keep building it up. And eventually, one of them will turn heel or something will happen and they'll get back into that title picture or whatever.
Right.
So, but and you have the women's rumble coming up as well. We don't really think about that a lot when we think about the Royal Rumble, because we get so excited about WrestleMania coming up, but we tend to forget we have the women's rumble as well.
Right.
All right, dog. AJ and Shinsuke. Real stiff match.
Yeah, that match was like, first of all, that match was better than their WrestleMania 34 match, my opinion.
Yeah.
And they really let them. I felt like I was watching New Japan, like I was watching Wrestle King.
Yeah.
For the IWGP title, they really, that match was special to me.
That was the last match before AJ came to WWE.
Right.
In New Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it was a classic match to me. Like, it was very entertaining. Both of them got their shit in, and you can tell they both had the utmost respect for each other.
Right.
But it scared me. Not the match itself, but it kind of reminded me. Now, we know this is AJ's last year. He already said it. But I'm concerned, especially when he had this Nakamura match so close to this Gunther match. And I feel like the Cena run again, where he handpicking his opponents, just like when AJ fought Cena and, the Ron Cena, and he fought Punk and all his rivals, even the Brock Lesnar down the stretch. It's like, damn, like y'all just sprung up the Shinsuke Nakamura match out of nowhere. That's concerning to me. I'm very concerned. But the match itself was very, it was phenomenal. No pun intended.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so let's check this out. Let's talk about the Fatal 4-Way, and then we got to talk about AJ get on the Rumble, and we'll get there. So let's just hold tight and get to the Rumble. So, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, Damian Priest gets to face. The winner gets to face Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. And we both picked the wrong man. And Sami Zayn ended up winning. It was a good match. I love Randy Orton these days. I've always liked Randy Orton, but I've never been a huge Randy. Like, that's never been like really my guy.
Man,
You know,
he's always been. I always liked the Viper.
absolutely. Now listen, now first ballot Hall of Famer. Just never been my guy, but has been one of the best on the roster since he's been there.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
So, but the older he gets and the funnier he gets, man, and just the stuff like all those backdrops on the table wouldn't break. He did it to everybody, you know, doing his shoulder like this, you know what I'm saying? Just so much more entertaining. And I know he likes that, but I also know there's no end to no Randy Orton run without a heel turn.
Right.
I do know
right.
that.
Right.
But match was good. Trick Williams looks like he's going to be a superstar, man.
Man, he's killing it. He's killing it.
He really held his own. I don't see nothing but big things for that dude. It's not going to be immediately, you know what I'm saying? But they got one they can depend on. They got that's a worker they can depend on, dog. And I don't see him being out of that picture too long. He's gonna be in around the main event spots and stuff like that. Now, is he a, you know, one-on-one main events and stuff? We'll see. But he's gonna be around those spots. The Money in the Banks and all that stuff. He's gonna be involved in all that stuff.
He currently has the biggest pop with when that music hit.
Yeah.
It's on and popping. Like it's on, and like you said, he's killing it.
Yeah,
he is killing it. I agree with you though. We don't know because I know they test the waters with him, but he definitely held his own. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm sure he probably gonna have some good moments in the Rumble as well. Hell, it wouldn't surprise me. He'd be like one of the like 4 or 5 in there, you know, just to tease us. I mean, we know he's not gonna win the Rumble.
Right.
You know, but
20 minutes might be in there 20 minutes, 20, 25, something like that.
Yeah, he might get in early and be in there the whole damn time.
Right. Never know, you know. So yeah, man. So but Saturday night's main event, I like how they're bringing these back. They're doing a lot of them. I mean, it's very cool to get to watch and keep doing those. Let's talk the Rumble, because when we come back next week, we're gonna have the Rumble review, and we will be in the midst of. We will know one main event. We will know who's gonna be going after the title at least. We'll know one, and then we'll get to Elimination Chamber. But Royal Rumble, cross fingers, Jericho's gonna return. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Let's talk AJ and Gunther retirement matches. Only 2 matches on the card right now. As far as the matches, you got Drew and Sami Zayn. You got AJ and Gunther retirement match. And then you got the women's Royal Rumble match and the men's Royal Rumble match. Did you see the thing that Shinsuke released on his Twitter page or Instagram or whatever? But it's not on there anymore. It was a letter that AJ wrote to him asking him, he wanted to say something to the Japanese fans, but wanted to word it correctly or something. And this and this. But basically it was saying that AJ is going to retire at the Royal Rumble. Now, in the last year, we've seen a John Cena heel turn, a Seth Rollins work about a blowed out knee, And here we are at the Royal Rumble. Now, I don't know if I think Shinsuke is smart enough not to post that at all. And they took it down. I don't think he would ever let that cat out the bag. You know what I'm saying? I did read something the other day that said that AJ Styles' contract is up in 11 days. And that was 3 or 4 days ago. And so that would be at the Royal Rumble when his contract would be up.
I mean, that would make sense. I mean, would he sign 2 5-year contracts?
Yeah.
This
And
is
he
10th year. Yeah.
Debuted in 2016 at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And it comes full circle. Now, in my head, what I have going on is he loses the match to Gunther, but then wins the Rumble. And all this is a work with the stuff with Shinsuke, which, and this is me hoping that's what happens, because anytime we have a retirement match, the outcome is never good for the superstar that you do not want to retire. HBK, Flair, AJ. So, and we don't know the outcome, but that Nakamura match threw me off like it did you. That's real close to, I mean, with the talent that they got, it's hard to say if they put that on the card just cause. You know what I'm saying? Even though they know they're going to deliver and it's a great match. And yeah, it's AJ's last year, but that's very close to, and you got the Rumble the very next week when you go against Gunther. So I don't know. When I say that, I think he's going to win the Rumble, this, and this. That's not fantasy booking. That's wishful thinking that what I really think is going to happen don't happen, because I'm not ready not to see AJ Styles out there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like all of a sudden, it wasn't like the Cena thing where we knew he had this long, or even we'll take all the way back to Nate, back in, what was that, 2008?
Yeah.
When Vince came out there, months before WrestleMania, like, when you lose another match, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So of course we knew WrestleMania 24 was gonna be it. I mean,
Right.
like we knew that.
Yeah. Every match. So before, after that, was his career was on the line. Every match.
Yeah, every match.
Yeah.
Even the HBK Undertaker, you kind of knew. Okay, they had the great match in WrestleMania 25. A year later, okay, yeah, put your career on the line. We kind of knew that streak versus career. We kind of knew that was going to be HBK's last match. To your point earlier, saying that, now with the Goldberg and the Cena thing, we knew win or lose is going to be their last match.
Yeah.
Now, but this right here is like the Ric Flair HBK, where it's presented, if you lose this match, it's a wrap. But it just they just sprung this out on us like this. We found out about this Monday. Like, put your career on line. What? Right. What are you talking about? I thought he was gonna wrestle a whole year.
Right. Because he said just in 26. He didn't say in a year.
Yeah.
And he's not John Cena, so they're not gonna roll the carpet out and try to do this big thing for you. Like, what Cena did was special.
Right.
That's not gonna happen for hardly anybody. But
then he did the TNA thing and with Kazarian and looked at the belt.
Right.
Like, I mean, what are we doing here? Like, I mean, They teased that. So I mean, what's going on, man? Or is this when Brock Lesnar gonna come into play?
Ooh.
I just popped out of my head, which why would Brock Lesnar interfere in that match? But again,
And why would you have Gunther lose another match if you're you
that's
know
why I said Brock Lesnar. If he
yeah,
would seem like it had to be something unexpected, it's something crazy. Like, okay, we will understand that. Oh, he come in F5 on why, I don't know. But again, maybe a tie into Cena some kind of way, which we still don't know why he squashed Cena. And again, I just know that a couple of years ago, before Brock got into that heat,
mhm,
that they wanted Gunther versus Brock. That was a rumored match that year. So it wouldn't surprise me if they come, because you got to think the Rumble. We're gonna learn a lot at the Rumble, but what we do know is Gunther's not gonna be. Well, no, he's gonna be wrestling the Rumble because he's not the champion.
right.
So maybe, well, who knows? Maybe him and Brock get into it in the Rumble. Maybe not during the match, but
Right.
I'm
Because
just
if
trying to figure out.
you got Brock Lesnar and Gunther at the WrestleMania, that totally takes them out the title picture, but puts them at way past mid card status.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to see that?
Right.
But if AJ was to win, like he said, I don't know if they would like beat Gunther like that. It was already enough where they had him tapping to
Yeah.
AJ, even though the referee didn't see it. So I don't know, man. I mean, well, we about to find out, but I'm really concerned, man. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And I understand it. I mean, dude's 48 years old, man. I understand ready to hang it up. You had an amazing career. Nobody ever thought you would have been in WWE. You just had a 10-year career there. World champion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you just did everything but win the Rumble. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like I say, I'm nervous too. But like I say, we'll find out in a week. That's for damn sure. We'll find out in a week. Drew and Sami Zayn. I'm gonna say it now. I'm expecting Sami Zayn to get his first WWE championship at the Rumble. And I think it's either going to be due to Cody or Jacob Fatu costing Drew McIntyre the match the same way they cost Cody the match. I'm thinking that it's going to be more of Jacob Fatu interfering. And like he cost Cody the match, now he cost Cody the title, he finna cost McIntyre the title now. And do a thing about where they might be doing a three-way for the who knows, man, with a triple threat or something for the number one contender spot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking. And I think if Sami Zayn finally gets the title, I don't think he takes it to Mania, but I think he gets it. I don't know where he would lose it at. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm thinking.
Well, let's be real.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they're going to do that. Now, also, if you pay attention to Michael Cole, they've really been pushing the fact that Sammy never beat Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be on to something. Now, if anybody deserved to be a WWE World Champion at least one time in their career, it's Sami Zayn.
Right.
So that guy, all the way back to Johnny Knoxville with the big mouse trap and getting body slammed by Wee Man, WrestleMania 38 to him and KO defeating the Usos in WrestleMania 39 and night one main event with the pop from that crowd, him beating Gunther, who was undefeated at the time in WrestleMania 40. I mean, Sami Zayn is a gem. Sami Zayn has great matches with anybody on that roster. Sami Zayn deserves to be champion at least once in his career. If it
Right.
doesn't go down at the Rumble this year, I'm sure or I hope eventually they will pull that trigger. But if they don't do it now, then when? It's just
Right.
hard for me that McIntyre just got the belt for them to give it to Sammy that quick. But to your point, especially with him getting involved with Cody and Jacob at Saturday night's main event the way he did, it'd be hard for me to think that they're going to have that match without no shenanigans from either Cody or Jacob. So you might be on to something. I hope they do that, you know?
Yeah. I think it would be cool. Just glad Jacob Fatu's back, man. What that Joker boy, that's my guy right now. I tell you that him and AJ are my guys. Like so, a lot of questions gonna be answered on Monday, Friday, and on the Royal Rumble. We're gonna find some stuff out Monday and Friday. Hard to make a prediction on the Rumble. You know what I mean? I'd rather make predictions about, you know, who might be lasting longer and stuff like that than I will on the winner right now. You know, but you know, you have the Elimination Chamber coming after that. We're gonna know the main events by then. You know, I don't know, man. It's exciting, dog. You got the women's rumble, you got the men's rumble, you got these two matches. Something else will get added to the card. And it'll be here Saturday, early Saturday too, because it's in Saudi Arabia. And
2 p.m. Eastern.
And then I don't know if you've seen the setup, but dog, it's amazing. So I haven't seen, of course, you haven't seen it with the people there yet, but the setup they have is ridiculous.
What are you talking about? You talking about like the set and everything?
Yeah, man, they going all out like they always do, but. You know, when they do the Saudi Arabia shows, man, they really show out over there because they got a lot of money to work with. You know, they got a lot of money to work with where they can do some different stuff, man. It's going to be outside, you know, so, you know, we in for a treat, I believe.
Well, since the next time we record, it will be the review of the Rumble. We have to predict the winner. We have to. We can't not predict the winner. Max Klopfelter, Keith Dollar, and the others. We have to predict the winner. So who's going to win the women's and who's going to win the men's?
The men's, I'm going with Roman Reigns in a full-time comeback because he's been off of air, off TV. They're done with that movie. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns and say that he comes back, you know, this will be a little full-time run. Now, we don't know who he's going to face. You know, do you want to see Reigns and Cody again at Mania? You want to see Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn for the world title, for the WWE title at Mania? That's an interesting story. You know, and everybody's going to expect Roman to smash Sami Zayn. You know, but Sami Zayn is that guy. He's the underdog. He'll be the underdog and be the champ. You know what I mean? So it gives him a couple of put a title on the line a couple of times if he wins it, if that even happens. You know what I'm saying? So, or would you have Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre for the WWE title? So it's a lot of stuff to work with. And this is the part where I would love to be in that writing room when they was talking about this months ago that we don't even know about. You know what I mean? So, and we'll see it all when they got new episodes coming out in the summer, and that'll be WrestleMania and all, and Elimination Chamber and all that stuff. So, the women's, good grief, man. I don't know. I do not know. I tell you what would be cool, and I'm not saying this, but if Bayley won, all the crap that she's been through for so long with getting replaced by Becky Lynch at Mania, and she come out there, and I mean come out there early and almost get thrown out 15, 16 times. You know what I'm saying? That would be cool to see, because it just seems like she just gets looked past no matter what kind of, and the crowd loves her no matter what gimmick she's doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be cool. I don't know if that'll happen. So, and you also got your Charlottes and your Liv Morgans and Nia Jax, and you got your newcomers with Lash Legend and stuff like that. So, don't know if we'll see what's going on with Bianca Belair with her injury, if she'll be ready by then to come back. Will they have any Trish Stratus return for the Rumble, something like that? Who knows? But I do think that would be cool if Bayley won. So let's hear it, Genius.
Well, as far as the women's, I'll do women's first. I think Bianca Belair is going to be the winner. I think they're going to go ahead and do her and Jade at WrestleMania, especially since they got Jade as the champion.
Yeah. Do you think Jade? Let me ask you this before you even get started. You think Jade makes it to Mania as the champ? She hasn't wrestled since the Holiday Live tour, and she hurt. What's her name? Minchie and
Michin. Yeah.
Fab.
Well,
so do you think she makes it that long?
Yeah, because I don't see them putting the title on Jordan Grace just yet.
No.
Nothing against Jordan Grace. I think she's great, and I think she's a great addition to the main roster. I just think that they, WrestleMania, they try to think big.
Right.
And who would, and again, that's a good point. We don't know Bianca's injury status, but, they will also shelf somebody longer just to come back at the right moment.
Right.
And what better moment is if, the Royal Rumble. And and we don't even know Bianca going to be in the Royal Rumble, it's fantasy booking. But I think that it would make sense for her to win, and you got Jade and Bianca. That's my opinion on that. Now, as far as the men's, I'm a agree with you on the Roman Reigns, but I think it's gonna be Reigns versus Punk.
Ooh.
Because of the history, even though they're supposed to be cool. You remember in the War Games, you remember he showed Punk some respect, and he told Cody that we'll never team again.
Right.
But he showed Punk some respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, could that come full circle? Can it be Reigns and Punk, and then Seth come out of nowhere? Because a few months with his injury, he might not wrestle on the card, but he can interfere in that match.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but if Reigns was to win, though, I think he would, because he's been clearly on Raw.
Yeah.
And I think if he was to win, even though it's not supposed to matter, they could pick whichever champion. And it makes sense with McIntyre or Sammy. I mean, they all have history, but I think it would be Reigns and Punk
Mm-hmm.
if, because, you know, I mean, they both world titles, but we all know that the WWE Championship, especially since Reigns had it, and
Mm-hmm.
now when Cody had it, that's like the A title, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that if they do like a Reigns going after the world title, especially with Punk as the champion, current champion, that would elevate the prestige of that title a little more. And also,
Yeah.
it's the Raw title.
Right.
So,
Right.
so I'm gonna agree with you. I think Reigns will win. We both could be wrong. We don't know what the heck's going on, which I love it that way. It's not as predictable,
Right.
but
What if
I
Braun?
think Reigns gonna win.
What if Braun Breaker's the champ by then?
I mean, that would be awesome, but I
Him
don't.
and Roman Reigns, and then you got the thing with the wise man and all that stuff.
I mean, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't see them. I mean, they could do that, but
Yeah.
I don't. You know, it's too many. But if Breaker was to, I mean, you got to think about like a guy like the Punk or
Uh-huh.
somebody. You know, like how many different opponents realistically would he have at WrestleMania currently?
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go Reigns with the men's.
And Bianca Belair with the women. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go Bailey and Roman, and
Okay.
and I'm gonna pray to God that somebody, you know, ooh, what if AJ cheats? What if AJ like hits him with a chair or something? I ain't ready to retire yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like beats the referee up or something. That'd be slick.
Anyway, that if they could get past that show and AJ still being wrestling, I'm all for it. I don't give a damn how they do it.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what's up, man. I think I don't know, man. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting. Do you think we hear Break the Walls Down?
Absolutely.
And that's the only.
Or we're gonna hear Judas Priest, huh?
Yeah.
They'll be singing that song though. They'll sing it though.
This is my life. Yeah. Hi guys. He's the learning tree, dog.
I'm just curious to see what his look gonna be. If he comes out there, is he gonna cut the hair? I mean, is he gonna like? I mean, what? Because he always change up his look. He's not gonna look like the learning tree Jericho. But what is he gonna look like? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he had the shirt, then he had the jacket.
Yeah.
What if he had a robe this time? He's never had a robe. He had the robe, with all the rhinestones on the robe. You know. And then the timer go off.
I don't know. If that man don't come out there, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah, but in Saudi Arabia too, because you know they all old school fans. They gonna go crazy if Jericho come out there.
Yeah,
and that's another guy that's close to the end of his career. We losing some big names, bro. Big names that can still go. But like I say, man, AJ's 48, so I feel him. But it's only January.
That would throw. Yeah, that man. That's like a punch we didn't see coming.
Right. Yeah, man. Well, we're gonna find out. Hey, man, I tell you one thing. It's welcome to Wrasslin. When we do come back, we will have all your questions answered as far as the Royal Rumble. We'll review that and talk about the Super Bowl a little bit more. And yeah, man, welcome to Wrasslin.
Welcome to Wrasslin.
Out on the Wrasslin, G.
Welcome to Wrasslin, Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the POT. Podcast tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash straight to the face. I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me.